Skip it up and that up. I wasn't going to make a video today. I'm not feeling well. Every single summer without fail, the whole winter, I could be around people who have the Ebola virus and never get sick. I'm like invincible. As soon as it becomes like May and June, I'm the only dude in my area that has a cold. So I'm feeling like crap. I have a coldies in my mouth right now, so my voice might be jarbled for a little bit of this video, but I had a lot of people that loved my previous dating nightmare video. They wanted me to make another one. I'm not going to rush them out because I'm not going to make up stories. And honestly, a lot of dates that I go on go pretty damn well. And I'm not going to let me piss this girl off so I can have a horrible dating story to tell people on YouTube. It's ridiculous. So I wait until true stories are there. All the stories that I've told are 100% honest. I'm not making them up. I'm not just doing it to be entertaining. And these three are epic. The first one is pretty shocking, but the last one I'm going to tell you is the most horrific dating experience I've ever had. So make sure you're sitting down, go take a leak, grab some popcorn, and be prepared to be very entertained due to my dating nightmares. So the first story actually happened a couple years ago. I met this girl at my job. She seemed very nice. We talked for a while there. So I got her phone number. I call her up and we exchange Facebook names. We connect on Facebook. So I'm chatting with her, the instant messenger on there. Seems to be going well. And she goes to me, "Would you like some pictures of me?" I'm thinking, okay, cool, I'll take some pictures. Didn't hint at anything sexual, anything like that. We weren't even talking about anything sexual. So I give her my email. Lo and behold, she sends me a dozen pictures of her topless. Kind of odd, but as a dude who likes boobs, I didn't mind. But then after that, it got weird. Every time we talked on the phone, she would always be like very antsy and say, you don't just think of me, but just for sex now, right? You don't think of me just as an object now, right? I'm like, why are you even asking me that? You proactively sent me these pictures, and yeah, I like boobs, but I can talk to you. It's not that I'm just sitting there thinking about your boobs slapping across my face. Well, most of the time I wasn't, but whatever. So we hung out once. It actually went well. But then after that, things went downhill very fast. I would call her up, and she would start an argument with me saying "Oh, you're just thinking about me for sex now, aren't you? That's all you can think about since those pictures is sex, right?" And I said to her, "You're making it like I tied you down and forced you to take those pictures. No, I could hang out with you and have a conversation. It's because you sent me pictures doesn't mean that everything else is ruined." And that was it. I mean, I called her a couple more times. She would start getting mad and be like, you just think of me as an object. I can't believe you don't have, and you're a pervert. I can't believe you're doing this to me. Click. Call her back. I'm like, what is your problem? All you could do is think about sex when it comes to me now. I can't be with you. I can't hang out with you. Click. She sent me the pictures. I didn't ask for them. And she became insecure after she sent the pictures, because she thought that all I could think about is sex and tried to blame it on me because she willingly sent pictures without me even asking. Yeah, the bottom line with this story is, if you're not just looking for sex, don't send sexy pictures of yourself out, whether you're a woman or dude. Because if you aren't just looking for a booty call, it's going to metaphorically come back and bite you in the ass. And if you do send pictures of yourself out, don't try to give the person that you sent the pictures to a guilt trip. It ain't their fault, especially if you proactively sent them. Next story, and this is where things start to get very interesting. So probably 4 or 5 months back, I met this woman on a dating website. Yeah, I'm going back to the dating website stories. And we talked on the phone. She was kind of in and out of a relationship. We met once for 20 minutes. I told her to come meet me at my job because my job was local to her. And it was just weird. I call her up and she was always unsure if she wanted to hang out. I don't like playing games. When I get bored of somebody, especially when I know it's not going anywhere because I'm not a game player, I was like, hey, can we just hang out so I could just see your boobs sometime? Yeah, she wasn't happy with that, and we kind of just parted ways. She wasn't pissed, but she was like, I'm not into that whole thing. I don't know if she was into anything. She was just probably trying to piss off her boyfriend at the time and make him jealous by being on that site, and I'm not down with that crap. So maybe over the period of the past 3 months, we talked on Facebook twice. Hey, how's the weather? We should get coffee sometime. She give me a roundabout answer, not give me a straight answer. And that was it. Like, I didn't really think about her. Like I said, we met once for 20 minutes. So all of a sudden, I'm at work yesterday. I'm going to the bathroom and my phone rings. I see this number that I'm not familiar with. I pick up. It's her calling me out of nowhere, explaining this whole sob story about how some guy she was seeing broke into her dating site account and she can't get it back. And she's like, I don't know what to do. And would you give me advice? Give me advice. I'm like, I don't really have advice to give you. I can't now because I'm at work as well. Can I call you back later? Okay, yeah, fine, whatever. So she hangs up all frantic. She was aggravated I wouldn't talk to her then. I'm like, one, why are you calling me? And two, what do you think I could do for you? But it gets more interesting later on. So I get home from work, eat dinner, turn on my computer, and go on Facebook. I'll actually read verbatim what the message was and let it just flow from there, just so I'm not making anything up or ad-libbing or cutting anything out. Let's read, shall we? It's story time. She goes to me, hey, how come you're avoiding me when I need your help? I wrote back, what are you talking about? I was at work. She goes, yeah, I've called you twice this afternoon. The last time was about 10 minutes ago. That's what I'm talking about. If you don't want to help, just say so. It keeps saying the Magic Jack customer is unavailable. What she was too stupid to realize is I have a Magic Jack phone, and my phone goes through my computer. When I'm not home, I turn my computer off. And if my computer's off, my phone doesn't ring because the Magic Jack is disconnected because it's powered through my computer. She goes to me, okay, but really sorry to bother you. I have big problems. If you could help, that would be great, or else tell me who to call, please. I said, for what? What the hell is going on? If you guys have a guy stalking you, that's a legal matter. Then she writes back to me, okay, tomorrow I go to the police, but in the meantime, what he's done is somehow took control of my dating site account under whatever her name was. I'm not going to give that out. I already told you when I tried to reset my password or on April 22nd, blah, 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 blah. He has a computer whiz friend who hacked her account. And I wrote to her, what can I do? I'm not a programmer. Then she writes to me, okay, so you don't know what's going on? Who should I call then? A programmer? I said, he hacked your account. She wrote, I know this. I said, you have to contact the website. That's all you can do. I don't even know if it's illegal. You just have to contact the website. And she writes, now he has my account, back to my email, except I don't get the email notifications. I did contact them. They never responded. The next time you go on there, could you please tell me the best way to contact them? The same way you did? That's it. That's what I said to her. And she wrote, it is illegal. He's changed stuff on my account. Okay, thanks for all your help then. So I wrote, I'm sensing sarcasm. Look, there's nothing more than I can do. She writes, whatever. And then I write, what the fuck do you want me to do? Go to the website's headquarters and take them hostage? And because I didn't have a miraculous plan, that didn't go over too well. This is what she wrote back to me. Wow, I didn't like your attitude when you came off horny to me because of my big assets or whatever, but now I really know my feelings, suspicions were correct. Have a nice life, Rich. You're too angry and demented, because I couldn't help her with her website, as are many, many other NYers. Laugh my ass off. You might actually be your problem if you think everyone in New York is demented. I can't wait to bounce out of this place. Because, it's still 1996 and bounce, using that term, is in vogue. It's a shame, though, because it seems you've got a real nice family. This is where she gets creepy. Your mom seems lovely and your dad seems like a real man. So what happened to you? You should really try to get that displaced anger in check, boy, and fast. Ciao. P.S. I don't hate you. So she's angry at me for multiple assumptions here. The first fatal mistake she made was that I was avoiding her phone calls, when in reality, I wasn't even home yet, and my house line, my home line, like I said before, is run through my computer. But she took that as me avoiding her. The second mistake that she made, and a lot of other people who aren't tech savvy make, is that if you're a technician or have any trade in computers, it means that you could do anything and everything when it comes to computing. If you're a technician, you could crack into the Pentagon's database and get names out. You're like MacGyver, and that's not true. There's guys that are technicians that could build you a computer, diagnose your computer, do whatever, get rid of viruses in your computer, but if you put them in front of a C++ program, they'll slap the keyboard like a monkey. Also vice versa. There are people that are whiz programmers, but couldn't change a video card in a desktop without killing themselves. Just because someone's into computing doesn't mean they know everything about computing. Just like there's doctors that are primary care physicians, and then there's doctors that are brain surgeons. You wouldn't go to your primary care physician and said, hey doc, I need brain brain surgery and get pissed off at him when he tells you no. Well, you're a doctor, you should be able to fix me. There's people that specialize in different aspects of the same field, whether it be technology, healthcare, or whatever. Think, don't be ignorant, and use your brain if you have one. Apparently she doesn't. So of course she ended it by saying, oh, I was just hating because I couldn't have her, and I wasn't helping her because she wouldn't date me, so on and so forth. No, I couldn't help you. There's nothing in my field. All of my skill sets when it comes to computing would have done nothing for you. The only thing you can and should do is go to the cops. You get a guy who's tech savvy and who could break into a website, he's gonna go to jail. And what's even worse, he would go to jail for you. The moral of that story is none. It's just that bitches are goddamn crazy. Moving on. And now, ladies and gentlemen, my final dating story. The dating story to top all other horrible dating stories. And it just happened this past Saturday. So there was another woman that I met at my job. We talked for like an hour there. It just kind of happened. We rolled into a conversation. It went well. She seemed interested, so I asked for her number. This was a couple weeks back. She gave it to me. We talked a couple times on the phone, not too much, for like 20 minutes each. And we set something up for this past Saturday. So there was just something, she didn't do anything in particular, but there was just something in the back of my head that was like, Rich, maybe you want to think twice about this one. But then my wiener was like, no, you don't. You want to go for it. So I get out of work. I get her address, pop into my navigation, and say I'm going to go pick her up. So her house is about 20 minutes away. I get there, and she walks to my car. I knew what she looked like. I already met her. But she has a cowboy hat with her. She's like, in case we go dancing later. First red flag. Okay. So we're driving, and she's like, make a right here real quick. I want to go to the store. Which kind of strange in itself, but okay, whatever, you want to go to the store. She directs me, I should say, to a liquor store. And she goes in and picks up a pint of vodka. She gets back out to the car, and she's like, hey, I want to take you to a park I know around the area. Sounds like it should be going well, right, for a guy? But as soon as she gets in the car, she cracks open her pint of vodka and was about to take a swig until I said to her, hell no, man, no open container in my car in broad daylight. Are you crazy? And she's like, oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I don't know what I was thinking. Anyway, so we drive to the park. Very nice park. Had a little like river and creek with a bridge over. We walk over that. There's like a vestibule or whatever we sit on. And we sit down and she's like, oh, I see you're looking at my boobs. I'm like, well, yeah, I am. She's like, there, I got implants. You want to see them? As a guy, of course, yeah. So she takes them out. In the middle of the park, there's no one there, but it's still broad daylight. Kind of just surprised she did that. She continues to take her bra off. She's like, you can touch him if you want to. Okay, as a guy, I approve of that and I will do so. So I did, but it was weird. It was like, okay, she's like, okay, you could stop now. All right, like, what did I just give you, a friggin' mammogram? Was I checking for lumps? What the hell was that about? Then she starts drinking the vodka. Keep in mind, she only had like a small sip at this point, okay? So it wasn't like, you know, I was like trying to trick her into getting a boob grab. And plus it was really weird. Like I said, I felt like a doctor. She starts chugging the vodka. She starts slurring her words, and just everything she was talking about was off. And she kept on going on about how I'm a Christian girl. And it was just... I thought I was in the Twilight Zone. So she gets up like, hey, I want to go out dancing. Let's get some dinner and a drink. And I'm like, oh, hell no. And I'm like, oh, God, don't do this. God, don't do this. It's not worth it. So we're driving. She's like, oh, I know where a place to go to. Follow me. I'll give you directions. So I'm driving, and she took another swig of the vodka when I turned around. By the time I saw her, she was already done drinking it. And I'm like, no. This has to end. This is way too creepy. So we get into the parking lot of whatever restaurant we were at. And I'm like, I look down at my watch, or not my watch, my clock on my stereo. I'm like, you know what? I got to get home. I got to work. How about I take a rain check on the rest of this date and we do it another time? She gives me this look. She gives me this stare of death. She goes to me, no, you're taking me out now. Don't you think you just grabbed a boob and you could be on your merry way? She lunges over at my seat and rips my car keys out of my ignition. I said, give me my goddamn keys back. I'm taking you home now. So I start to drive her back home. I proceed to get out of the parking lot. She's silent. All of a sudden she says, well, I have to get a pen out of my pocketbook because I'm going to write down your license plate since you sexually assaulted me. I step on the brakes and look at her and said, are you fucking kidding me? You invited me to grab your boob, and that was all I did. She's like, yeah, well, in the back of my mind, I didn't want you to. I just said yes. And plus, I got all dressed up for nothing, so if you're going to take me on a real date, I'm going to say that you sexually assaulted me. At this point, I was so enraged. She then goes to me, well, since you need to take me out for a drink, I want some money then. That might stop me. I said, you're blackmailing me for money? And you're saying that if I don't give it to you, you're going to call the cops and say I sexually assaulted you? She goes to me, yeah, I'm broke. I need money some way. I gave her, it ended up only being $10, but I gave it to her. Now you're thinking, like my friend said to me, Rich, I wouldn't have given her the money. Think about my situation. I'm a guy, she lives in the middle of nowhere, she's drunk off of her ass now because she guzzled down half of that pint of vodka like it was Gatorade, and she's saying that I sexually assaulted her while she's shit-faced. Even if my story, which it is 100% truthful, if I explained it in full detail and told the cops to give me a polygraph, who would have still looked guilty? I'm a guy, she's the woman with boobs, and she's shit-faced. I would have lost. So we drive to the gas station. There's a gas station right near her house, and I proceed to give her $10. I'm sitting there driving, stewing. I am so enraged at this point. This has never happened to me before. I look over to her and say, you would actually make up a lie about me? A venomous lie that could ruin my life because you weren't happy with how the date went because you didn't have enough fun? She looks back at me and goes, yep, no one would believe you. You're a guy, and my brother's a pastor. I'm a Christian girl too. About 20 seconds later, we get to her house. She opens the door. I said to her, you're a Christian girl, right? Yep. You believe in Jesus, right? She says, yeah. You know what Jesus would think of you? You're a dumb bitch and you're a piece of shit. Go to hell. Ladies and gentlemen, all of these stories were 100% truthful. And the bottom line is, whether you meet a woman online or whether you meet a woman in the real, all bitches are crazy. Have a good one.